Hebrews, the 12th chapter, in the first verse says, wherefore, seeing we also are compassed about with so great a cloud of witnesses. Now, running in the chapter before, he has talked about all these folks that didn't make it because they were smart. They didn't make it because there was anything extraordinary about them, but they made it because they believed God.
That's right. That's right.
And they made it because they made it through something that's called a process. You see, everything has a process. Everything that's worth having, there is a period of time that you go through this thing, and that if you are not willing to go through the process, then you won't make it. Lord, help me this morning. Help me to preach this morning. Seeing that you're not the first somebody that been through where you trying to go. See, folks so funny. I said in the morning, this morning, Sister Palmer, folks don't like for you to tell the truth. I came out of 2014 broke, depressed, and fat. And the only thing, Randy, I was able to bring out of 2014 was my faith. But what I found out, it was enough. But see, folks don't want you to tell the truth about where you at. That don't mean I'm going to stay depressed. That means that at this moment. And so now, if you can't stand for me to be who I am, please leave me alone. I want to dismiss you. I want to give you a pass. That's what they'll do at school. They're going to give you a pass and let you go in somebody else's class or something. You can't stay in my class because this is where I am. And you see, the Bible said that you shall know the truth. And the truth will make you free. I don't want to act like I'm all right. I want to be all right. I don't want to act like I got a good marriage. I want to have a good marriage. I don't want to act like I got joy. I want the joy that God promised, that if you believe on me, as the scripture have said, out of your belly shall flow rivers of living. Why I know it's something better. You see, everybody want to be a beast until it's time to act like a beast. You say you want it, but when it's time to get up and act like you want it, what you gonna do then? Hebrews, the 12th chapter says, seeing we are compassed about with so great a cloud of witnesses. Let me tell y'all something. The process is something else. Sometimes you feel so lonely. Sometimes you feel like even the folks that's right around you don't understand what you're going through. Sometimes folks look at the exterior and they look at what you have and they look at how you look and they think that you don't need no help and you are dying inside and you saying, God, can I make it just one more day? Why am I here? Why am I going through? But the truth of the matter is that there's a process. There's a place that God is taking you to. And in order to get there, it's going to take more. It's going to take more. It's going to take more than I even think, Benny, that I got within me. Because I feel like I'm at my end. I feel like that I'm unappreciated. I feel like that I've shot my shot. I feel like I'm shot to the curb. But then, when I don't have nothing else left, the old saints used to put it like this. They said something down inside. I come to church to help me this morning. Yeah, I'll preach your sermon next week. I'll preach something theological. I promise you that. I'll preach something deep for you next week. But all I'm doing this week is trying to find that Brother Jeff that's within me to keep on going on. Because you see, I know that he is the author and the finisher of my faith. Somebody said one time, I know he didn't bring me this far in order to leave me. If God wasn't going to bless me, if God wasn't going to take me further, he could have left me in the crack house. He could have left me where I was, but God said, get up. It's not time to quit yet. Get up. I got some more. I got more for you to do. And sometimes, my sister, we begin to judge ourselves by what folks said that we are. But that's the reason that God has to allow us to look into the Word of God and find out from God who we really are. Find out from God who our identity is. You know what? I might have done what they say I did, but I am not who they say I am. I might have done some things, but I'm telling you what, I did it out of ignorance. Paul said that. Paul said that over in Timothy, Mother Bland. Paul said, look at here, I'm the chief of sinners. I persecuted the church. I was a blasphemer. He said, but God had mercy on me because I did it ignorantly. How many know what I'm talking about? Some things that I did, I just didn't know no better. But thank God for correction. Thank God for chastening. Thank God for bringing me to a place where I'm ready now, God. I'm ready. I don't listen to everybody. I'm ready to listen to you now, God. I'm ready to see what you got to say about my life. Because everybody got an opinion about who you are and where you're supposed to go, what you're supposed to do. But God, you made me. And the Bible said we were fearfully and wonderfully made. I am not a piece of junk. I am not who they said that I was. But all God was waiting for me to do was to begin to turn from them and begin to look to him for who. Not that same. They look at somebody else and tell them, say, you got more in you. You got more in you. Oh, yeah. Brother Arthur, they thought that you had been, they thought you were through a long time ago. They surprised when they see you. You still taking, yes, sir, baby. The thing that I got within me won't let me rest. I know you didn't see nothing in me. I know you didn't think I was going nowhere. But there was a greater within me that wouldn't let me lay down. This ain't for everybody. This is just 2 or 3 of us right here. That we was ready to go and lay down and die. We was ready. You know what? Y'all can have this right here. I can't go no further. But God came and got us by the neck of our neck. And God said, it ain't over. Get up and let's go. God said, don't you quit on me. I've invested too much in you. I put too much in you. Sister Tracy Willard, this is deep. Baby, the reason you can't quit because of what he promised Miss Taney. God, he promised my mama. He promised her that if you would humble yourself and go on out to the slab fields, if you humble yourself, make no difference what nobody says. She's supposed to be a school teacher. What's she doing out at the slab field? But baby, I got to go to the slab field so that now 2 generations down, I have grandchildren that are going to law school and will be attorneys. You see, what I'm working for, I can't see it today. And that's the reason you got to be real careful about your company. You got to be real careful about the folks that you surround you. You don't pick your company. You let God pick your folks. It ain't who you looking for. It's your destiny is looking for you. You ain't got to look for it, baby. Your destiny is looking for you. If you will leave them other folks alone and be still, stand still, and see the salvation of the Lord, your destiny will come get you.
Take your time. Take your time. Take your time this morning. Take your time. Take your time this morning.
Tell your neighbor, say, I won't quit. I won't quit. I ain't finna quit. I don't care what you heard. I don't care how you see it or whatever. I'm not gonna quit. My family gonna stay together. We gonna make it, baby. I don't care what you heard. I like it when it get down and dirty. He got the right one. Different motivation. Come here to Guanaquah Road. Men, you got to love your children more than you love yourself. You got to love something deeper than you love yourself. Because when it's only you, you don't have the motivation to keep going when you're in the trenches. But when you got that woman and you got that child and you got that grandchild, that you're going to make sure that they eat if you don't eat. Because, y'all, that's how we got here. That's how we got here. I don't remember so much what my mama said as what my mama did. what my mama did. It wasn't so much what they did. They didn't have all these old wise sayings to say to you. But I know that when time came to get it, they got it. When folks was looking at them funny and they wouldn't have the clothes that they got now, they still got on up. This today is to help me for them days that I just don't feel like getting up. For them days that I just don't see. My feelings are my enemy. Because you see, children do what they feel like doing. But grown folk do what they got to do. And so the Bible tells me that since you got so many clouds of witnesses. You know, most of y'all don't remember because y'all not as old as I am. But I remember when you couldn't eat where the other folks ate. I remember when you couldn't drink where they drank or whatever. And I'm not trying to take you back to that place. I'm glad to be away from that place. But what you need to understand is that you did not get where you are on your own. You stepped on somebody's shoulder in order for you to stand. And so what I'm telling you is that even though it might be rough on you right now, there's more. There's more within you. The devil want to deceive you like that you don't have what it takes. The devil wants you to feel like you ugly. You're not shaped good enough. You don't have enough sense. But God has given you everything that you need. But you'll never know if you don't get up. You've got to get up from where they did not have the right to sit you down. They didn't have that right. Only God can sit you down. And when he sits you down, baby, you ain't getting up no more. And so if God didn't sit you down, get up from where you are. This is 2015. You need to tell each and every one of them, whatever your opinion of me, it's all right. However you feel about me and about my family, it's all right. Because, see, I don't believe in no whole lot of arguing. I was telling my family last night, if I find out you ignorant, my only word is okay. Okay, you don't want to know no better? Okay. Because now, if it get to the point of arguing and everything, ain't going to be no arguing. It's more. There's more within me. I need to come here this morning to find that out, because the devil wants to tell you, put you in a place, and that's your place. This is where you go. You can't have your own business. You can't have, let me tell you something, beloved. It took me 17 years to get a 4-year degree. But do you know what? I got a degree. And let me tell you something else. Let me tell you something else. On the degree, they don't put how many years it took you to get it. You see, I don't know how long the process is. All I know is I ain't gonna quit. I don't know what I'm gonna have to go through. All I know is I ain't gonna quit. I told y'all I come out of 2014 broke, depressed, and fed. But I came out with my faith. I came out believing that God can and God will. I came out knowing that as long as I keep my hand in God's hand. I thank God for Manasseh, because at Manasseh I learned that ain't now one of you Negroes that can handcuff God. Because see, if you could have, you'd have handcuffed him a long time ago. They didn't give this church a snowball's chance in hell. They say he doing what? He's starting in the back room of the office over there. But I want you to know, when God sets his hand, God got the right one. God got somebody that don't care. God got somebody that you can say whatever you want to say. Laugh at me. That's what they did to Jesus when he was up on the cross. They passed by. They mocked him and they scorned him. And that's what Hebrews 12 tells us. Let me just look at that for just a minute. So look here. Don't you let this process turn you around. The process is set to weed out. The process is set to turn you around. The process is set to see, do you really want what you said that you wanted? Because if you don't want it, we're going to find out whether you want it or not. In law school, they don't slap nobody upside the head. They don't haze nobody. They don't kick nobody, but it's some pressure. It's some pressure that they put on you that you'd rather that they slapped you upside your head. You got to read a book about that much. You got to read about that much every night. And I'm talking about study it. I ain't talking about just skim over it, because when you get there the next day, they're going to call your name and stand you up in front of everybody, a crowd bigger than this, and ask you about some details, and you don't want to look stupid. You don't want to. You see what I'm saying? And so the pressure is there. And so there's more. I need this message this morning. See, every now and then God have to just kickstart and jumpstart me, because here I am, just got off of crack cocaine, just come out the crack house. I go to one of my friends and I tell them, I said, guess what? I'm in law school. They ain't smoking no crack at law school. What you doing up in there? So you want to keep me? I don't know what you've been through in your life. But I ain't had no whole lot of folks talking about, come on, you can make it. I ain't had no whole lot of folks saying we believe in you. I ain't had, beside my mom and dad, beside my family, but folks on the outside, I ain't had it. You know, I ain't had no preacher. Preachers got churches. Preachers done this. They done this. We supposed to be mentors. We supposed to be all this right here. I ain't had not one preacher to come out here and say, well, look, preacher, this is what you do. This is how you do it. And the reason is because they want you to fail. The process. The process. The process is, look at here. Don't you look to nobody else. I ain't finna I'm going to show you who they are. You see, because folks are grinning in your face and talk all this good talk and everything. But when you don't never show up, when you never done nothing, you ain't never offered a quarter. And I ain't right. Sometimes I just tell them just how good we're doing. I say, you know, we don't owe anything. We got thousands of dollars in the bank. And then I don't make it no better. And I said, well, we ain't took no offering since November. I don't make it no better, because you see, I always wanted to find the right one to depend on. And what I found out was that he was the right one, that you can bank on him. He'll never leave you nor forsake you. Somebody asked the question one time, say, is there anything too hard for God? I've never had a problem that God couldn't solve. I've never had nothing that was too hard for God. I've had sleepless nights. I've had wearisome days. But if I just took it to the Lord, if I just took it to the Lord in prayer, I've had things that I said, scratch my head, and I said, God, I just can't see how this thing gonna work out. But when I quit trying to figure it out, he had already worked it out. Mother Bracy used to have something on the front of her car say, I can't give up yet. But what I'm really telling me is I ain't gonna give up. I can't give up. I can't give up. I can't turn around. I ain't got nothing. I burned up everything that was behind me. I ain't got nothing to go to. That's what Jesus asked Peter. Everybody else turned around, Brother Albert Jones, and they left because his sins got hard. See the process. Everybody said they want to be a beast until it's time to do what a beast do. Are you going to get up early in the morning? Are you going to go to sleep late at night? Are you going to sacrifice for your dream? Are you going to sacrifice for what you want? I remember, Nikki, it got down to the point about everybody I was in law school with lost their husband and wife. Because you see, the law is a jealous mistress, and you ain't got time to be petting nobody up. You ain't got no time to be talking about let's go to dinner or nothing like that. You got to do. My pastor got mad because he wanted me to come to Bible study on Wednesday night. And I did that one Wednesday night. And I was so far behind the next day that I had to make a choice. You see, when you don't understand what I'm talking about. When you got a dream, you got to make a choice. When you make a dream, you got to decide, am I going to be like everybody else? Do I want my dream? Because you got to want it worse than you want to get along with folk. Oh, he had been bragging on me. He had been setting me up, talking about, look at this crackhead that ain't no crackhead no more. So church folk like that. You know, like he the one that delivered me from crack and everything. But when I told him, I said, I can't come pastor the Bible study no more. I said, the things I'm going through. I said the course is too rigorous. I don't have time. He got mad because, you see, now I wasn't going to be supporting his program. You see, I got to find somebody that's supporting me. Most folks, as long as you're doing what they want you to do, you all right with them. But I need somebody that believe in my dream. I need somebody that want my... Oh, I love him. I ain't mad at him or nothing, but God will give you some sense. And he pull up in front of the car in the thing that, you know, we got to get out the car and we got to dust each other off because of what's on top of us. But he pulling in front of the church. He got a Mercedes with windshield wipers on the front of it. I said, I'm talking about over the headlights. They had windshield wipers over the headlights. Then he say he paid for it cash. He said when he went up there, he told the man, I want a car. I don't want no car. No, I want a car. Well, you know what? I didn't get mad about none of that. You see, God had delivered me from being jealous about what somebody else got. Because I had heard one day, it is no secret what God can do. What he's done for others, he can do for you. I ain't got to be mad about nothing God do for you, honey. God got a blessing that's tailor-made for me. God got a blessing just for me. But I told him, I said, look at here, let me tell you something. I said, I want a car just like what you got. And I know I can't get it running up behind you. I got to do what you did in order to have that car. See, it was a lot of preachers that was running behind him and had his briefcase and driving them places, and they thought they still doing that. They ain't got nothing now. But I knew that in order for me to get what you got, I got to do what you did. I got to go through a process. I remember when I went back to college, I had some old raggedy jeans that I was wearing. And my job, I was getting a little crazy check every month. Well, for $45. It was for transportation from rehab. I went to school on rehab. I thank the Lord for it. And I didn't get here on my own. I had help. I had help from people. And see, I'm different from most folk. Most people, that if you ain't doing nothing for them today, they don't know you. But I remember each and every person that ever did anything for me. If you ever did anything, if you bought me a hamburger, I ain't forgot it. If you paid, put some gas, I haven't forgot it. So I worked on the slab fields. We was making $1.65, put in 100 hours and didn't bring home $100. So I don't never want to forget that. See, I'm not. See, Bro Benny, when you get to that place where you think you're entitled, when you think folk owe you something, when you think something's supposed to come your way, no. All I can say is, Lord, thank you. I haven't forgot, Dexter, from where I came from. I haven't forgot about Old Town Lake. I hadn't forgot the people that was down there. When I see them, I'm still Vander Bland. I don't make nobody call me Attorney Bland. That's a turnoff to me. When I meet you and everything, I'm Deacon such and such. Okay. That's about the end of our conversation. Because you don't even know who you are. Somebody gave you a title and you think that's who you are. You are much more than who they called you. But you'll never know until you let that one that made you. And I had some old blue jeans that I wore up in there. And I tell you what, my job, Vanna Jr. then was little. And my job was to take a cart, and when people left books out, I picked the books up, put them on the cart, and put them back on. The Bible said, don't despise small beginnings. Miss Jackson, I promise you, I wasn't worried about it. I wasn't worried about how they looked at me. And when you went by and you got the books off the table, the other folks looked at you like you wasn't nobody. But see, you don't know me. You don't know where I'm on my way. I got to quit letting you decide how I feel about me. I'm not, this 2015. You do no longer decide how I feel about me. I don't give you that right. Other people that I work with running, they was happy with me. He ain't nobody. He ain't going nowhere. But what they didn't know was I had put in an application to law school. They didn't know where I was going. And I didn't find it necessary to tell them. It ain't none of your business. You ain't none of my people. You see, quit telling folk who you are. Because you see, they will never know who you are until God tell them. See, that's how come some folk that you meet that don't even know you respect you. Because God has shown them who you are. And that's why some folks you've been around all your life, got your same last name, do not know who you are because God has not revealed to them who that you are. They was laughing and grinning in my face, my coworkers, until they found out I had been accepted in law school. They have not spoken to me from that day to this day. When I moved to Helena, I was living over in one neighborhood, and God blessed us to move in another neighborhood. Before that, we was neighbors. They was over to our house. When they had a birthday party, they invited us to the birthday party. We invited them. Said from that day that we moved to this day, they don't know me no more. You know that song we sung New Year's Eve? Ain't no stopping us now. So I know you've been around folks with negative vibe, but if you ever been held down, you won't be held down anymore. Sitting around waiting on folks to encourage you, sitting around waiting on your kin folks to see something in you. But what it come down to, it ain't the fact that you ain't great. It ain't the fact that God ain't working with you. It ain't the fact that you're not somebody. It simply comes down to jealousy. They can't help themselves because they won't get no help. They jealous of you. They jealous of your children. They jealous of what they think you got. Just like my grandmama went back to Enterprise, Mississippi and worked on the farm. She had to leave college because my granddaddy's own brothers and sisters wouldn't take care of their mama. And she left school and went with my granddaddy and took care of his mama till she died. Then she went back to school. She didn't go back just for her. She went back for me. She went back for my child. She went back for little Jeremy. It's bigger than you. You've got to find what's within you.